Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with the announcement of what is going to be happening on my channel in March. This puzzle is the first March of the Quads, and the reason it is the first March of the Quads is this month on my channel I will be releasing the March of the Quads puzzle pack. The March of the Quads is going to be a puzzle pack that was an idea I had a couple of weeks ago about doing a small puzzle pack related to the quadruple constraint. And I originally thought I would do maybe half a dozen puzzles about quadruples and release it. We haven't come up with a pack of half a dozen puzzles. I've sat down with some other creators and reached out to some creators to submit puzzles, and we've come up with a pack with about 30 puzzles around the quadruples constraint. So this is going to be quite a big pack. For that reason, there'll be a couple of things happening. One is it's not going to be directly related to my channel. It will be a pack that I've put together and coordinated, but it will just be a puzzle pack that is released. There will be a way that you can submit answers in order to be eligible for this month's prize on my channel. But it will not be written into the pack how to do that. That information will come from me on the channel. I hope to get this pack out in about 10 days, but it's a huge piece of work to come, so it may be a little bit later than that. And because of that, this is not going to just run through March. This is going to continue running into April as well. So I will have details about all of that closer to when it is all coming out. There will be no hidden Easter egg in this pack, so it's not going to be like Save the Galaxy, trust me. So, the way that I asked setters to create puzzles for this was to play with the idea of quadruples clues with a single other constraint. So not go overboard, just how do quadruples clues interact either on their own with classic Sudoku or with classic Sudoku and then one other constraint on top of it. And with that, we've found some amazing stuff. We are going to try and build the pack into an order of difficulty so that there will be some easier puzzles for everyone to approach, some slightly harder puzzles so that those who've done the easier puzzles or those who are more experienced will be able to just jump straight to that or solve those. But if you've done the easier puzzles, we think that you'll be okay moving on to the more difficult ones. And then there'll be the harder puzzles, which have some amazing quadruples logic in them, but you might find those ones a little bit more challenging. I know that we did. So hopefully it will all be good for everyone. And of course, all of the standard ways of getting assistance when the pack comes out will be available. But first, to demonstrate the sort of thing we've been working on, this is first March of the Quads. So how do the quadruples and their interactions with other things work? So, first of all of the puzzles will have normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 will be placed without repetition. Then there will be quadruple rules. So with the way quadruples rules work, I need to get better at saying that, there are these circles, and around in the circles there will be digits, sometimes 1, sometimes as many as 4, never 5, for the reason I'm about to say. The digits that are in the circles must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching the circle. If a number appears more than once on its own, so if there were, say, 2 1s in here, you would have to put 2 1s around here. But most of the time it'll have different numbers. But if whatever is in the circle must be placed around in the 4 cells touching that circle. In this puzzle, the extra rule is thermos, and the way thermos work is digits must strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. So this digit will be higher than this digit will be higher than this digit. And with that, this puzzle is solvable. This one, many of the puzzles are created by Skunkworks. Skunkworks is not a person, it is the collaborative team that we used to create this. So many people were throwing ideas into the puzzles, it was a kind of pointless putting an individual's name on it, so what we've done is we're releasing them under a collaborative name. Very few puzzles were created by a single person. So, let's give this a shot. Of course, links to this puzzle are below, and when the pack comes out, there'll be links, so many links, you will hopefully get lost for a few months or longer. So, it's kind of hard to not want to pencil mark all of these thermos, but these quadruple clues down here are immediately powerful, because if you look at the thermo, the minimum you can put into these cells are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But you have to put 3 and 4 around this quadruple clue, but you can't put them here because of the length of the thermo. So this becomes a 3-4 pair. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This must be 4 and 5. And these, what I'm hoping this puzzle will do is to demonstrate quite a few of the quadruple tricks that we discovered. And things like having quadruples placing digits that are forced out by other constraints is one of the basic tricks that we have been playing with a lot. This is me. I really can't just not. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I really can't just not pencil mark thermos. As much as other people don't like doing it, I do. There is a for and against school of thought, and I am in the for camp. Particularly considering now I can see this cannot be an 8. And the reason this cannot be an 8 is in this quadruple, we must put an 8. So it will take up an 8 in one of those two. In this quadruple, there must be an 8. So it will take up the other column's 8, because you can only put 2 8s into column 6 and 7. And one of them will be on this quadruple and one of them will be on this quadruple. So I cannot put an 8 into any of those, so I can take 8 out of that cell, which does not seem immediately helpful. So I've got to have a 1 in here. Well, actually, I have to have a 1 in one of those two, because I can't put 1 in either of those two. This thermo doesn't look very powerful, but there's got to be something I'm missing. Like, I've got the same here with 1s as I've got with 8s over here. But not having 1 down here. Oh, that's that. Where does 9 go in column 2? 9 can only go in one of those two cells. 9 can only go in one of those two cells. That's beautiful. And because 9 can only go... That places 3 9s. Okay, how to explain this? So, 9 cannot go on this thermo because 9 can only go at the end of a thermo. And because of this 4-5 clue, 9 cannot go here. So 9 must go in one of these two cells. The same is true over here. 9 cannot go anywhere on a thermo that's not at the end, and because of the 3-4, it can't go there. So 9 has to be in one of those. Now, if you put a 9 here, it knocks the 9 out of this cell and puts a 9 here. So under that circumstance, you cannot put a 9 into any of those cells up here or those cells down here. The same is true in reverse. This is what's called an X-wing. And X-wings you will see a lot when you're playing with quadruple clues. If you put a 9 in this cell, then that will knock a 9 out of both of those cells and force a 9 into here. So 9 will either exist in those two cells or those two cells, and you cannot put another 9 anywhere in row 1 or in row 9. That knocks a 9 out of those two cells, and you cannot put a 9 partway along a thermo. So you cannot put a 9 in any of those 3 cells. But I need to put a 9 on this quadruple clue, and I can't put it in those 3. So that becomes a 9. This becomes a 1, and all of a sudden, I know I can't put a 9 in that cell, so I have to put a 9 onto those two on the X-wing. And that is really nice. Which means this is not a 9, which means this is not an 8, this is not a 7, this is not a 6, this is not a 5, this is not a 4, this is not a 3, and now I have a 4-5 pair, which means this is a 3, this is a 2, this is a 1. The 4-5 pair also means this is a 6, this is a 7, this is an 8. That means this is not a 1, this is not a 2, this is not a 3, this is not a 4, this is not a 5, this is not a 6, this is not a 7, and because of the 8 quads, it couldn't be an 8, so this is a 9. And this is now an 8 because of the 7. This is a 7 because of the 6. That's very cool. I've got a 3-4 pair because of the 3-4 quadruple. So this is 5 and 6. That's a 2. That's very cool. This 2, I've got to put a 2 around this quadruple, but this 2 sees that cell, those 2 cells and that cell. This becomes a 2. That is very cool. 6 has to go around this quadruple, but it can't go there because of this 3-4 quadruple, and that 6 sees both of those. That is the 6. Eight is in one of those 2 now. Because I can't put 8 here, because 8 here requires 9 here for the thermo, and there's already a 9 in the box. So 8 is in one of those 2, which puts 8 in one of those 2. Pencil marking across boxes. A constant quadruple challenge. Do I want to do it? Do I need to do it? No, I don't. Because now I have 8 and 9 in this column taken up by not those 2 cells. So this becomes an 8-9 pair. And this quadruple is now complete because I can't put either 8 or 9 into those cells, and I need to have 8 or 9 in those 4. One is down, no, one is placed. One can't go here because of that one can't go here. This is 1. This is very cool. These 8s are looking down, taking 8s out of there, so 8 goes into those. I am very glad I kind of stayed a little bit. I did see this puzzle being played with, but am a little bit oblivious to its secrets. 9 has to be in one of those 2. But it could, I think, still be in that orientation. 1 is over here. That's a given digit. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an 8, which forces that to be an 8. Wait a minute. This thermo is now under a lot of pressure. Don't worry about the thermo. This is an 8-9 pair. Because I can't put 8 there because 8, 10, 11, that's not going to work. And I can't put 8s or 9s into those. That's an 8-9 pair. That is that, which means it's down here, but I've got the 8s and 9 possibilities. But this thermo now is under incredible pressure. I've got the 2-8 and I've got the 1-9. So what can this be? So this has a maximum of 7. So these have a maximum of 6. So this actually has a maximum of 4. This can only be 3 or 4. It can't be 1 or 2. Now you may say this is 6, so it has a maximum of 5. But one of these is 6. But the other one, if I put the maximums in, so let's one of these is 7. I could go 6, 7. Um, uh, how do I can make one of these 6, but I can't make both of them 6. So I have to put a 5 in here, is the thing. These have to be different. And because these have to be different, I think that is the way this sits. So if this was 5, these would be 6 and these would be 7, but I've got 2 6s in the box and 2 7s. It just doesn't work. I think that's right. So 7 is in here? No, wait. Well, there's no 6 here. That's a 3 4 pair. That's an 8 9 pair. What are these? These are 1, 5, 6, and 7. I think I am off the beaten path. I've told Simon off for saying out of nowhere in the past, but I think I'm going to join him on this one. That's a 3 4. Which places that 3. Because I've got 3 and 3, and that's the only place for a 3. Oh, that's a given digit. It's same as the 8 up here. This is a 1. This is very symmetrical, and I haven't been playing with that. I have been letting the team down. This, however, is 1, 2, 6, without this being a 1, without this being a 6. Take 6 out of there. Wow, this is very strange. Got to put a 5 on this quad, and I can't put it there. So that can't be a 5, that can't be a 5, that can't be a 5, that is a 5, which makes that a 4, which makes that a 3. This is not a 4, so this is not a 5. Need to put a 4 on this quad, so that's a 4. That 3 makes that a 4, which makes that a 3. The 4 makes that 3 and that 4. I've got my 5, 6. I still need to put a 3 on this. And a 4. 4 has to be in one of those two. Three is in one of those two. This is 5, 6, 7. This is now another 5, 6, 7. This is a 3. Which puts 3 in one of those two. Which means this is a 4. 3 can't be here because of this 3. 3 has to be in this column in this box, and that was resolved by the quad. I could just use the quads. You know, the whole reason we're here. This is a 4, which means this is a 5, this is a 4, this is a 5. This is fun. I mean, the whole point we're here is to have fun. But this is another 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7's everywhere. So they're obviously not out of nowhere. Got the 5, 6, got the 8, 9, got the 1, 4. Still need to put a 3 in here. Got the 4, 5. I think the quads apart from this one are now done. 4, 4. That's a 4. I have 4s looking into the box. That's a 4. That makes that an 8, which makes that a 9, and that an 8, and that a 9. That makes that a 9. I'm missing 3 digits from here. So this is a 2. This is a 1. This is a 3. There is no 1 here anymore. These are 5, 6, and 7. More 5, 6s, and 7s. Wait. What have I got wrong? So this is from 2, 5, 6, and 7. And it sees 5, 6, and 2. This is a 7. So this is not 7. These are 5, 6. This is 2 and 6. This is a 7. There is no 7 up here. This is 1, 2, and 5. There is no 1 there. This is the 1. I can take 5 out of there, giving me a 6, 7 pair, making that a 5. This is a pair. 2 and 4. I've now got the 3. I need to put a 4 around this quad. The 3 wasn't the tricky one. The 4 was the tricky one. Because I can't put a 4 in any of those, and that's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 2. I love what quad logic does. This has to be 7, 8, 9. That's not 7. That's not 9. This row seems to be the most constrained. I need 2, 6, 7, and 8. So 2, 6, 7, and 8. That's not 7. That's not 7 or 8. Ew. That's a 3. I've got 3s looking into box 5 in those columns. So that becomes a 3, which makes that the 3. That's not a 2. That's not a 6 either. That's an 8. So that's a 7. There's no 7 or 8 there. So that's a 2, 6. No, that's a 2. That's a 6. I am not scanning great. 1, 4, and 9. There's no 9 or 4 there. That's the 1. That's a 4, 9. That's a 9. That's a 4. That's an 8. That's a 9. This is coming together well. I've still got to break these 5, 6s, and 7s apart. There's no 1 there. So this is the 1. This is not the 1. Okay, these are pairs. 1 and 2. So this is the 2. This is the 1. This is the 5. This is the 2. This is the 6, which makes that 6, which makes this a 7 by the Thermo. Thermo is still coming into play. This is now a 7, so this is not a 7. 5, 6 is higher on the Thermo. This cannot have 6 in it. So this is the 5, this is the 7, this is the 5, this is the 6. The 6 makes this the 5 and this the 6, and all that's left is stuff in one box, and even Bremster shouldn't be able to mess that up. 7 and an 8 in the middle, and that is the first march of the quads. Some really nice interactions from the first beginning of being able to put these pairs in straight away, from the Thermos eliminating the possible candidates from those cells, to the pointing stuff with the 8s and 9s, removing the 8 there, the X-Wing on 9s being caused by the quads, and then just other quad logic where you have to place digits on the quads and they're eliminated by other things. Really cool, particularly the 9 being placed there by the X-Wing, eliminating those cells, that being on the Thermo. Really clever. And again, this is a Skunkworks puzzle. I don't actually remember who was in around when this was being set. There was so many people throwing puzzles together. This one is very, very cool. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you find this puzzle interesting and that you are looking forward to March of the Quads. I know I am. And yeah, I will continue to do non-quad puzzles this month. It's not all going to be quads, even though it feels to me like it has been. Um, yeah, try this puzzle below. If you've got any questions or suggestions, of course, reach out to me on Discord or via email. And as always, good luck with your solving.